What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. OG here, and I wanted to talk to you about the most OP player type in FC26. Now, how do we know this? Well, several things. One, we have just small clips, which you're going to see here, of the gameplay for the coming year. Now, we use those small clips to piece the visual together with those who have played the game. Yes, there are pro players, content creators, others that have got a chance to play the early beta version of the game. And even though they can't talk in detail about the game, we can get important tidbits from them. For example, one of the important tidbits from Neil Guides was that the physical dribbling is extremely overpowered. They have to fix it because, as you can imagine with like the shield button, for example, imagine that on steroids, right? It's already very effective, but imagine dribbling and the defender's trying to take the ball and nothing's happening. The attacker's just holding them off the entire time. That's essentially what's going on with, or what was going on with the current version that Neil Guides was playing. So even if they nerf it, which you have to assume they will, they have plenty of time to work on it, and they don't want the bigger players to become impossible to tackle, because even those small shifty players, they're harder to tackle, but you still can tackle them. So they need to make that equal, those equal to each other. Each player has their benefits, but it can't be so overpowered that you can't defend it. So, assuming that they do fix the physical dribbling part, then you also know that not only is the left stick improved, also the defensive movement's improved. It had to be, right, to keep up with such good left stick, which everybody is saying that the left stick's incredible. They showed videos and you could, get the idea of it even just watching the visual, where it's just so much more sharper. Those quick little in and out movements, the quick cuts left and right, you're truly going to be able to dominate with the left stick. And it's good that the defense is also buffed up, because otherwise they would have been just totally smoked. Especially, it's already harder to defend with the full manual approach. They're actually going more manual, right? But better AI marking. However, to actually tackle and win the ball, you have to do it yourself, which is exactly how it should be. So good job there. But once they get the physical dribbling in check, it will be good for those bigger, stronger players to be more viable, because those explosive players have typically been the best ones to use, even now, especially with the inconsistent gameplay, which they're supposed to fix. So assuming that they do fix that inconsistent gameplay, these bigger players are still viable and even stronger now with the physical dribbling, right? You're still always going to have that better feeling on the ball with those explosive players, right? As far as run types, they took out the middle grounds. It's just explosive, controlled, lengthy. But then you also have like the body types you see within Footbin, where you're talking about like a stocky body type, tall and normal, small and average, whatever it is, right? And one of the biggest things that you'll notice is those smallest tiny players with good dribbling feel better than the bigger players with good dribbling. Even if the bigger player even has a little bit better stats, the stats end up not mattering. It's like the physical build of the player. Therefore, who has been the best on the ball players when they have good dribbling and a good body type? It's been the women. You're talking, instead of like a 5'7", 5'8", average size, you have a 5'1", 5'2" average size. So that makes quite the difference. Right now I have Claudio Pena and I have Putellas. And the difference in their ability to left stick dribble to get in and out of tight spaces, it's night and day. And then you add in the inconsistent gameplay, those players are already much more valuable. And that's this year without all these additions. Now, because of the way they come up with the stats where they make it relative to the men, right? The women, no matter how small they are still going to be extremely strong, even going up against the men. Because how they did it was they took the women, rated them separately. And then say you had the top 10 strongest women, they all had 99 strength. Let's just make this up. Then you had the top 10 strongest men, and there's a Tomori, for instance. I'm just making up, or let's say a Saliba or a Vidic, okay? And they all have 99 strength. Well, even if they're much larger and you have like a 5'4" woman that comes up against them and they both have 99 strength, clearly in real life, Vidic or Saliba or someone of that size is going to just dominate in the physical battle. Not in FC because of the way they did it. Now, it works out overall if you're going to add women. I'd say they did it the way you had to do it. However, it makes for extremely overpowered women players, because now especially you are going to have insane left stick dribbling with great reaction time, real quick in and out movements. So you're going to be able to blow by defenders like that. But then you also have physical dribbling. So when that defender is on you, instead of just getting knocked off the ball or whatever the case may be, you are going to be able to, attacking wise, push them off the ball, right? And imagine how strong the shield button can be. Now, times that by 10. Put that on steroids because there's added animations to kind of keep that defender from successfully getting the ball, successfully, tackling you and winning possession. Now, I know for a fact it's OP based on Neil Guides using it and talking about the defenders just could not win the ball back from these physical dribblers, right? With that being said, they are going to absolutely get it in check. That's what the whole point of all this. You get these little details, but they're without a doubt going to fix it. However, they're going to make it viable, right? That's one of their big new features, and that's one of the things that they want to use to make those bigger, stronger players, more equal to those smaller, explosive players that can get in and out that everyone loves using, right? But when you have a small, compact woman that's amazing at dribbling already, even if she has lower stats, right? As we were talking about earlier, the stats are secondary to that body type, to that build. I'll even use a man, for example, Lothar Matthäus. He's got a more compact, smaller body type, and usually he'll have lower dribbling stats. However, because of his body type and because of his insane stats overall, he still feels amazing. His dribbling doesn't, take away from how good he feels in game. But if he was a bigger player with those same stats, it would be a problem, right? So now take an even smaller woman, add that high strength with the ability to be as agile as the best of them, be real shifty, hard to get off the ball. And now you have the perfect FC26 player that possesses all the strengths that have been added. Therefore, in FC26, the most OP player is without a doubt going to be those smaller female players that also have high strength. It's as simple as that. With the physical side, right, that is added, as well as the better shiftiness, better left stick, these players are going to be able to dominate. So make sure you load your team up. Claudia Pena, she's 5'3", but she's not explosive. She has a controlled run type. Don't worry about that. Look at the body type. Her body type, short and normal, right? When you see those small, and remember, do not look at the run type. About the run type. Based on the formula, their strength, these players might not be explosive. They might be controlled, but it doesn't matter. Right here in footbin, you see Claudia Pena. You see there 160 centimeters, right? And you see short and normal. Now, when you look over here, you're going to see she is going to be a controlled player. Maybe she'll get into explosive with the more simplified version now without the controlled explosive, controlled lengthy and all that. It's just the normal 3, explosive, controlled, and lengthy. But this is the type of player that you would want. Look at this strength, right? So she is going to possess, like I said, all of the benefits. Not just the physical dribbling, not just the shiftiness, all of it. Now, it goes without saying that certain positions you're going to want those bigger players where height matters. We're talking goalkeeper, obviously. Your center backs, maybe your true number 6, your defensive central midfielder. If you play 2, maybe both of them. And then your wing backs, depending if you want the bigger wing backs to mark potential crosses to the back post or not. Even though those small shifty players, they do have their benefits as well. So that's up to you. But outside of that, you 100% are going to want smaller, strong female players the type you want. If there are some men that are that size, which there are, but for the most part, it's the women, that's who is going to dominate the pitch in FC26. So make sure you load up on these type of players. I showed you how to look for it in footbin, so you have everything you need to get the best team on the pitch based on who is going to be the most dominant around the features added. There's no excuse now. You got the answer. Make sure if you enjoyed this video, you smash that like button. Make sure if you haven't already, you subscribe to my channel. And check out my Discord. OGamester FC, like all my socials, the link is in the YouTube bio. For $2.99 a month, you will have everything you need to be the most successful on the pitch and off the pitch in FC26 and beyond. I'm talking no more stresses of wondering what SBCs to do, wondering when you should purchase a player, making sure you don't lose out all your coins by buying a player before they crash, making sure you're actually using the tactics that fit how you play everything. No more feeling like it's a chore to play the game instead of actually having fun. We take care of all that for $2.99 a month. You literally can't get that anywhere else. And we didn't even talk about the YouTube memberships, which give you a ton of privileges, including early content or potentially 1v1 coaching to take your game to the absolute max. Every nook and cranny that is a hole in your game will be covered and worked on and improved on. It's up to you what you want to put into it. We put so many hours of our lives into this game, we might as well get the most out of it. That's what we will be doing over here at OGFC. We hope you will join us, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.